G'day guys, it's great to have the opportunity to share with you once again. It's a bit strange all this, isn't it? Doing it via camera and not meeting on Sundays, but know that you're very much in my thoughts, and I've certainly taken some time this week to just go through each name that we have as part of the life of our church, and just pray for each of you in this season. Although we might be physically distant, we know that we are never completely separated through God, who brings us together and makes us a family. And so we celebrate that even in the midst of this strange sort of separation that we've started in. As per our last update that you should have received via email or seen on our Facebook page, I just wanted to reinforce a few of the changes and make sure that they were clear. I guess if there's any questions, please don't hesitate to sing out. But let me just remind you of a bit of the change that's going on at the moment. Obviously, we've suspended all our church services, but not only that, we've suspended all our church activities and group gatherings or meetings. So any of those things we're encouraging to happen online via different methods. And we'd ask that you kind of abide by that in terms of any of the smaller ministry groups that you may be a part of. We will be resourcing you, as with this particular video, with a number of things each week through a weekly email. You'll also be able to grab that off our website or via a link that we'll send you via text. We'll be joining with an online church on Sundays. I think this will be a bit of fun. We're gonna share with different churches around the country, pop in on some that we know quite well, and perhaps others that you don't know at all. But we're going to share a link with you, an opportunity to join with that church on a Sunday morning and see what they're doing. And I think that'll be great, a great encouragement, but also an opportunity to see and hear from some different voices, which will be fun. This week we're going to be joining with the Lakes Church in Cairns, and I believe Laura Snook there is going to be sharing a message. So we encourage you, 2 services, the details are in your email. We encourage you to check out what they're doing Sunday morning, and then perhaps you might like to discuss it with someone afterwards. Pick up the phone or send a message. We're going to be working on our pastoral care strategy, and I've sort of mentioned that already, but that's already starting to roll, and it hasn't sort of kicked off yet, but we're in the process of just teeing up how that's going to work, finalising some details and inviting people to be part of that. We've created a prayer@cgchurch.com.au email address, and we want to invite you just to send any prayer needs at any time through to that email. The plan there is to develop a group around that, but at the moment that will come to me, and please know that I'll be praying for that. We've got some Facebook groups that are up and running. One, if you search in Facebook, if you have an account for Love Your Neighbour Townsville, you should find that group. That's a wider discussion for anybody in Townsville who's asking the question of how do we support one another in this season. And then the other one we're going to start is just a common ground. It'll be a private group in Facebook, and I'll be inviting as many of you as possible to that. And if you can share that with others who perhaps you're connected with on Facebook who are part of our church, that's just a chance to discuss, share how you're feeling, share ideas, anything sort of church related that's an encouragement to others can be shared in that space as well. Look, some of us are going to be spending a bit more time at home. So one of the things that I thought would be fun would just be to share a little bit about what you're doing. I'm going to be working partly from home and sometimes on my own in the office as well. But for me, that means we're going to have the kids around. We're trying to think of ways to just stay well all together. This isn't just a time to do what we've always done. It's an opportunity to work on ourselves, to perhaps look at taking up new hobbies or new interests. Get creative. So let's have some fun with that. I want to share with you something I did with my son just yesterday, and that was we started doing the beep test. You may remember doing this in school, or if you've been part of a sports club. The beep test is a brutal running challenge where you sort of you get faster doing each sort of lap, and try and push yourself to get to a higher level in the beep test? Well, I want to let you know my first beep test got to level 11, and I'm looking forward to seeing if this thing goes on for a while, how far I can get, and I'm going to share that with you. So that's something I'm doing. If you're doing something at home, perhaps you're starting to think, what could I do differently? What's something I could do if I've got some extra time at home? Share it with us. We'd love to hear. You could email me a photo, something like that. Remember, our email is info@cgchurch.com.au. Hey, last Sunday we were introduced to a new song by our worship team, and it was called The God Who Stays, and we've sent a video link in our email to this song, and I just thought it was such an appropriate song to be launching in this season, and those words have echoed with me this week. The God Who Stays. Let me read you what the chorus section of the song says. You're the God who stays. You're the one who runs in my direction when the whole world walks away. You're the God who stands with wide open arms, and you tell me nothing I have ever done can separate my heart from the God who stays. You know, God is present with you in every circumstance. The Bible teaches this idea that God is omnipresent, always present, in all places at one time. Now, this doesn't make a lot of sense to us, but this message is reinforced time and time again. And it means that as you're in your home, as you're in potential isolation, as you're in a place without the usual contacts around you, God would want to say to you, and has said to you through his word, that I, God, am the God who stays. I don't forsake you. I don't leave you. I am with you always. Jeremiah puts it like this in chapter 23. Am I only a God nearby, declares the Lord, and not a God far away? Who can hide in secret places so that I cannot see them, declares the Lord. Do not I fill heaven and earth? See, God is everywhere. Psalm 139 says, where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, if I say, surely the darkness will hide me and the light become night around me, even in the darkness will not be darkness to you. The night will shine like the day, for darkness is as light to you. God sees and is in all seasons, all moments, all things. James puts it like this in chapter 4, verse 8, come near to God and he will come near to you. Folks, wherever you are, God is fully present. He is with you. Maybe you're in a moment where already you're starting to go, what will this be like? Potentially being home, stuck in the house with my kids, all the time. He's the God who stays, the God who is with you in every moment. Maybe you're thinking about the things you've lost. Perhaps you've lost employment. Perhaps you've lost finance. Perhaps you've lost, your health even, potentially, due to the virus or some other thing. There's always loss, and we're always grieving. I'm grieving the loss of plans, hopes, things that I'd worked towards. God is the God who stays. He says, draw near to me and I will draw near to you. One of the great things about this time is we have moments, we have extra. Some of us are flat out working to keep up with the new needs. Those of you in healthcare, or if there's anybody stacking shelves, then you're flat out. And this may be a season where we support you, we pray for you, because you get home and your head hits the pillow and you're out. But many of us, it's going to be a time where there's a slower pace. What would it mean for you to draw near? What would it mean for you to use this time to slow down and to center yourself and your life again? It's interesting this week. I've just been thinking about the response in our community, and as people have become more aware of the season we are in and the challenges that we face, I've seen just all sorts of responses, and I've seen the the fear of, we've seen the panic, we've seen also the incredible generosity and love and neighborliness, that the kindness that starts to come out. And I think to myself, what will our response be? Because there's the disease, there's the physical danger, but there's the dis-ease, the discomfort, the anxiety. So what will your response be in those moments? Remember, God is with you. We worship the God who stays, who is in all places. I hope you embrace this opportunity, embrace the challenge of it, embrace the discomfort of it, and know that it's okay to be a little bit sad. It's okay to grieve a bit. God is with you in the midst of all of that. Let me encourage you with that today. I hope you enjoy the Sunday service, the content we've put together, and let's keep in touch. Let's keep in touch. Don't be a stranger. Drop a message, an email, make a call. Call others from church. Pick up the phone, say good day. It doesn't have to be a long chat, but just check in, stay in touch. Bless you guys heaps, and we'll talk soon.